everyone. Mr. Devil here, Kenny Danico, 3-time Stanley Cup champion of the New Jersey Devils. And you're listening to the Unclepuckers New Jersey Devils podcast. Let's go, Devils!
That was a little insane starting. Now Tony's still missing. Whenever you're ready, Tone. Where's the comments?
I don't know what the hell's.
Why can't I find the comment? My whole screen right now is all sorts of messed up. So
If I was a listener, I would just listen for this part of the show.
I don't even know if I could. Right? I don't even know if I can find the chat. Like it's not.
Do we have anyone that's stuck with us for 3 years that is literally just laughing at this again?
Yeah, I see myself.
Like
Probably.
we just can't get shit going.
No, we definitely can't. Oh wait, that's not what I want. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, we're the Unclepuckers.
We really need someone who can understand this to fucking run the show.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I started
like we let the guy that works in the kitchen fucking work the computer. This probably shouldn't happen.
Hi, Steven. Nice of you to, your welcoming remarks always make us feel good about ourselves. Thank you. So anyway, we are the Unclepuckers. Tony, Bob, Tim, I'm Chris, and we it's nice. We have everybody back. It's not.
Can I just step in here? It's not working for anybody else.
Cool.
It's digitized. It's
digitized.
Yeah.
Trip.
Just Chris. We're good.
Yeah, I'm
He looks like
okay.
a robot.
Tony's not
Tony's a
good.
record.
Tony's
Chris is frozen.
It's definitely StreamYard. Like I know a lot of people that just
Can you
have problems with StreamYard.
You guys not fucking hear me?
I can hear you. You're not moving.
Oh,
So Tim and I were going to do a show today.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, how was vacation,
Shit, not
man?
again.
All right. Why don't we all just back out and we'll restart? Sorry, Steven. The old turn it off, turn it back on again technique.
Yeah, Chris is popping out. Let's just see if that works.
Yeah. All right. All right.
You guys.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce out and come back in too.
Yeah, I think we should all do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
my computer's all fucked up right now. Are we on?
Yeah.
We're live. Yeah, YouTube's
What the
back.
fuck, man?
Here we go.
All right. So, are we okay? Other Tony, we can't.
I hear you guys hear me.
Yeah, but we can't see you. All right. So,
I don't know what the hell.
who's talking right now?
That was I had the YouTube open on my
Oh,
phone,
okay.
just
All right.
telling everyone that it's all Chris's fault. And we're
I don't know
hoping-
what the hell. My computer just for some reason. This is the second time this has happened on StreamYard. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to put that behind us. It doesn't matter. What's up, guys? Let's start where we were before. Bobby, how was your trip?
It was great. It was, very long, very hot. We thought we were escaping the heat from the Northeast. It was about 1 degree cooler in North Carolina.
The heat of the Northeast, and you went south. Why
Yes,
would you
I know.
think that?
It's weird. No, because it literally was. It
It's
feels
cooler,
like
right?
temperature was cooler there for the week, but by only like a degree or two. It was supposed to be like 5 or 10 degrees cooler. That's not what happened. So yeah, it was just great to be there for a long time. Usually when we do these vacations, because everything's getting so ridiculous with prices, to basically sleep. I mean, we get a house because we got the dog and everything, so it's always good. But I'm usually like, all right, well, let's do the 5-day or 6-day, just shave a few hundred off the back end, enjoy a couple dinners out. And this time we just went the full 8. So
you
it was
always
very
shave,
relaxing.
You always shave the back end before you.
Bobby
jump on.
got his
right.
bonus.
Bobby's got a boner.
Bobby got his bonus. He went
Oh,
full
Bobby's
8
got-
days.
Well, it's
Well,
7 nights,
Red Lobster.
Yeah.
You got to squeak
Alright.
in whenever you can on those half days.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, we're
Since
going to
we-
the beach now. Well, the second we get there, we'll unpack the car later.
Did you paddle
No, I'm
out at
usually
all?
the one who's more ready to go.
Did you paddle out?
No, I kept waiting every day, not a wave. We talked
No.
to some locals when we were on a fishing boat. He's like, "You're not gonna get anything here until September." I'm like, "Oh, it sounds like Jersey," but not even like a small break, dude.
We went to the beach on Tuesday. Me and my daughter, and we hooked up with Dan and them. And there was actually some nice waves coming through. I wanted to go back home and paddle out, but I got jammed up, didn't make it back. But it wasn't too bad, actually.
Well, we're sitting there, looking like a flat lake, and I'm hearing all these stories about a few drownings in New Jersey, like the same days that I'm down there with nothing. I was wondering what was going on up there.
Well, I mean, I didn't hear anything, but normally it's people from up north that have no idea how to swim in an ocean and think it's the same thing as a pool, and they end up fucking drowning because, we were taught how to swim in the ocean. It's amazing how many people just don't know how to. And that's usually what happens. If it's not like somebody having like a medical distress and drowning or like a child or something, it's usually 20 to 30-year-old people from Staten Island, New York area that, never went into the ocean.
I think they can
And-
outswim the
Well,
tides.
It's, you grow up in a pool, swimming in a pool, and you think you can swim. And the ocean is a totally different thing. You got to
Totally.
fear
That's what I tell my wife all the time.
Fear
Yeah.
the ocean.
Katie,
I-
You guys
Katie's
ever have
still-
those moms who throw you? Do you ever see that they take the babies and throw them in the pools?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I
Katie's
taught my
still
kids.
like
Was there another part
Week.
of that story, or we just
No,
is
I have
that
to-
the
you
kind
have-
of the YouTube videos you're watching late at night? Just watching
Strap up.
parents just throw kids in
Swat
the
them
pool.
with a
kids
brick
get
and
fucking
just
messed.
throw them in the fucking pool.
No, but
Um,
I don't know anybody whose mom ever did that to them. But I remember
Yeah.
hearing about this when I was a kid. They would just take them to these group pools and just toss a bunch of babies
Yeah,
in there, and
that's
they'd figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, I
Well-
made sure with my kids that they started swim lessons at 3 months. Like, I was doing daddy and kid swim lessons. And when my kids first paddled out with like boogie boards when they were like 9, 10, I was literally the guy standing like right at the shoreline, just like watching them. Like,
Yeah.
I taught my
Don't
kids
put
at
it-
an early age, and same. I told my wife, like, they are going to learn how to swim in the ocean. They're not going to learn how to swim in a pool. It's completely different. You have to be comfortable and confident and know what you're doing in the ocean, because shit can go sideways quick. And you have to, doesn't mean just because you even know how to swim in an ocean compared to a pool doesn't mean you're safe. But you at least, that was a big thing for me. Like, I don't want them going to the beach with friends at a young age and thinking that they know what the hell they're doing, and they don't.
yeah, that's how Jaws starts.
Yeah, exactly. 50th anniversary, by the way.
She was a
But-
good swimmer.
What was that? The shark was an excellent swimmer.
No,
No,
the
the
first
chicken
girl.
house.
It starts with attractive young lady who gets eaten by a shark, but she was a good swimmer.
That's true. She was.
Yeah, she wasn't a
could
bad swimmer.
outswim
Her
him,
form
though.
was actually very good, Tim. I don't know why
What
you're
was
picking on
the
her.
What was the name of the shark? They didn't name him actually in the movie, but if you watch like any backstage or like
I just heard this.
yeah, they actually named the robot.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Bruce.
Yeah, Bruce. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know.
So-
I don't know why I thought they would go to like a woman's name.
All
I
right,
think
so
today's the
enough
40th
with
Yeah.
anniversary of
So
Back
since
to the Future.
Bob has to
Wait,
leave
wait.
at 6, you want to get into it?
Yeah, but what'd you say,
Yeah.
Tony? I'm sorry.
I think
Sorry.
today is the 40th of Back to the Future.
Wow, I was
Yeah.
9 years old when I saw that.
Yeah, and I
That's
actually
awesome.
heard this thing this week about it. I never knew that. So they take the DeLorean, but the first thing they were going to use in that movie when it was first being written, believe it or not, was a refrigerator as the time machine. But they didn't do it because they were afraid that kids were going to start locking themselves in them.
I've
at the house.
never in my life seen a refrigerator go 88 miles an hour. I mean, that just sounds crazy.
Well, it's like a
Oh,
telephone booth, right? Like
You've
Bill and
never
Ted's.
stolen a
But that's what they were
refrigerator
going
from
to.
the dining hall in college.
Yeah,
have
Well,
you?
that
that's what
makes
they were
sense
going to use
'cause-
at first. That was the idea at first, is to use a refrigerator. Then they thought it would be with kids. They would be locking themselves in there. So they totally obviously the script completely changed, but that was the original script.
Ugh,
I think they
utter
left Eric
woke
Stoltz in the
nonsense.
refrigerator.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
yeah, dude.
All right, so let's get into hockey because guys are here. Hello, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us. So I think that we have off the top of my head 2 people on this show that are not happy with the moves that they made. One person that is kind of happy, pretty happy, and another person who I think is kind of in the middle here. And if I'm wrong, Tony and Bob, you guys are not happy. Tim, you're in the middle. I'm okay. So I want to actually start and go around with Bobby, Tony, Tim, and then myself. Bob, what is it you like and don't like about the moves?
Let's clarify, because this you're referring to a conversation we all had yesterday, and how, again, as constructed right now, I simply said this is not a winner. This does not get the job done, knowing full well that other things have to happen, trade or something. It's not the players. I like the players that came in. I mean, I'm looking at Brown. He's a solid bottom 6 guy, right? He's fast. He's going to help on the PK. They're both reasonably sized. I think they're almost 6 foot and 180 something. A lot of playoff experience. Dadonov, I mean, another guy that you don't want to pencil him in for 20, but you probably can. He's got some flexibility up and down the lineup. He's probably could maybe be like a sneaky guy to play with Jack. Plays like a heavy game, like a hard game, and he's on a performance-based contract, which are great because he might want to perform very well to get that. He's the type of guy that could wind up being like a favorite player of mine. You know what I mean? So it's not the guys. I like the guys and what they each bring. The playoff experience between the both of them is awesome, and they're character guys. It's not enough was my point. And I don't expect it to be because the offseason's not over. But as penciled in right now, did we get stronger? Yes. Can we compete with the top 4 in the league? Absolutely not. That's what I was trying to construe yesterday.
Okay.
And I agree with Bobby. I mean, yeah, I don't mind the players we got, but I like Brown. Like Bobby said, he's a bottom 6 guy who knows his role usually with his, he's just been in the playoffs the last 2 years. Obviously the Allen move was awesome. I mean, that was a really, that was a very slick signing. But do I feel like I think we're a little bit better in some areas, definitely, but I don't think it moved the needle too much. And I think, like Bobby said, again, I don't think we have a chance against Florida. I don't think we have a chance. And I don't know if we're going to do. I actually have to be honest. After watching that presser with Fitz, I don't know what we're going to do. Really, it didn't seem like, it seemed like Luke Hughes was the main priority for him. That's all he wanted to talk about, and just, I'm not excited. I have to be honest. A little disappointed. It was actually the worst trade deadline day not trade deadline, but free agent day that I've seen, that I remember seeing in years. Just
There
all
really
around.
wasn't anybody available.
Yeah,
I mean, it
crap.
was the main guys got signed to their old teams. You talk about Besser and Marchand and the fucking Conn Smythe Trophy winner. What the hell's his name? Bennett. They all signed with their teams. I mean, the Oilers was pretty much the big name. But all right, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not okay with where we sit right now. I'm with Bob. It's like, but I expect more. I'm sharpening my pitchfork. I'm not like on my way to the rock right now to fucking lead the charge. Like, I like the pieces that we got. I like Brown. I think he has a lot of versatility. I actually wrote about him in my free agent target blog. Dodonov's an interesting move, even though Fitz just can't help himself, man. He gave him a no trade clause until March.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing, man? But the other part of this, or there are 2 other parts of this, and I totally agree with Tony. Like, I was on the Allen train, or I was on the Dawes train as the backup because of what we were hearing about Allen, that he's going to get $5 million. It's like, that is not a good use of cap space. That deal, Nico Dawes, you can go fuck yourself. See you later, pal. Let's pretend I never talked about him. Not once. Not once. I've always been a Jake Allen guy. Jake Allen.
There's only one Nico on this team.
The other
It's
thing
not
you got,
Dawes.
the other two pieces of this. One, and I said this before, it's a lot of addition by subtraction. We got rid of Hala, Bastion, Tatar, Dowling, and Lazar. The only one of those guys who was even remotely interesting to me was Lazar, and that's because I know he was hurt. But there were availabilities to be upgraded on him. Between those guys, those 5 guys, they scored 27 goals last year. Dodnov and Brown alone scored 33. Right. Dodnov and Brown at 5-on-5 scored 27. So at 5-on-5, which I identified before, and I think Fitz realized this after the season, which we can get into how troubling it is that he doesn't fucking realize that. This was not a good 5-on-5 team the whole year. We were I actually looked this up because I hadn't actually looked up the end of year. We were actually minus. We were a minus team at 5-on-5. We scored 147 goals, gave up 153.
Wow.
Yeah,
-6 there.
We were carried by an electric power play, goaltending, and defense. So we needed to upgrade that 5-on-5 scoring, and we did that so far. If nothing else comes, I have concerns.
Yeah.
And I have to think that more is coming, because the long-term deal for Luke, we don't have the cap space to cover that long-term deal for Luke. Right. Fitz hinted that Luke wants to be here for a long time, like his brother. He basically told us it's going to be an 8-year deal. That little mini presser that he had yesterday, which wasn't streamed, and now
it wasn't a presser. Why. They called him on the way to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. That was the best joke. I giggled to myself in that. He's like, oh fuck. Fitz sucks at talking to the press, but he is, the one thing I'll give him credit for is he does a good job addressing needs during the off season. And I am worried that he can't make that one trade, like that maybe he's a little bit snake bitten because the Timo trade hasn't fully turned into what he wanted it to be. So there's all that. And then the second part of the addition by subtraction is I think people are really kind of underestimating the pieces that we have. Nico, Jack, Brad, and Timo are fucking elite hockey players. That is a very good top 4. I would love maybe another top wing for them. I've made my concerns about that clear, that I'm probably overthinking bringing in another top wing. You know, Carolina just signed Ehlers. I didn't think he was the answer, even though he was the first guy I was like, oh, free agency, Nick Ehlers. And I looked into him and I was like, I'm not really into this guy. So that trade for that either top wing, and I think it's only going to be one person. I don't think we're going to get that top flight wing or the 3C. It's going to happen in a trade. Just no idea what still. Well, and that's got to happen.
I mean, yeah, everything you guys are saying is absolutely true. And, you know, you kind of, I think Devil fans expected this team to be fixed on July 1st, and that's not at all reasonable, and that was never going to happen. The moves that were made, I really like. I love the Connor Brown signing. I love him as a player. I think he absolutely will take so much pressure off of Nico Hischier and those defensive, just being in the defensive zone. He knows what he's doing. He's a smart player, tons of experience. I really like him. I like the Dodonov move a lot, and I think if he is playing in the top 6, he could be electric if he plays with any one of those two lines. It doesn't matter to me. I do not think Palat is on this team to start. When you go over the roster, there's just no spot for him, in my opinion. And you talked about the free agent, talk about money, right? Salary cap and everything. Even if it's just a salary dump, I think that's going to happen. With not a whole lot coming back. Now, I'm a little bit nervous because it does seem to me like it's going to be Gritsuk and Dodonov taking those top 6 roles with those two lines. That's what I think Fitzgerald has planned. I don't have a clue if Gritsuk is going to if he's ready for that or whatever. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm more concerned about Dawson Mercer playing third line center. That's the one move that I feel like we definitely need to upgrade. And I do think Palat's going to be gone. I think there will be a trade. I don't think this is the finished product. But even if it is, we are, I think, considerably better with the younger kids coming in than we were with the guys you mentioned that are gone now. So I am pretty happy with what we did. I don't think we can compete with a Stanley Cup right now, but I'm very intrigued with what I think this team could be. So I'm kind of being a half glass full kind of guy, and hopefully it pans out. I do really like the Dadonov move a lot. I think that's like sneaky. He's a sneaky good player, and maybe playing with Jack and Bratt, this guy might be a 30-goal scorer.
Yeah, but that's the big if though, because he's really not penciled in to be that type of player. And in every lineup that I've seen, there's one of either a Palat, a Nason, a Gritsuk, or a Dadonov on the top two lines. Now, all of those have problems. Like you said, I think Palat's going to be gone too. I don't want to see him anywhere near the top line. I don't want to see Nason up there either. He's got to go down to the third line. That's where he belongs. We've talked at nauseum about Gritsuk coming in. You can't expect this guy to come in and be a top two line player. He may very well become that and very fast, but you can't pencil that in. So you are kind of looking at so Dadonov is what we got. That's our answer for Jack. And he could be flashy. He could be fun, but I mean, is it going to stand up? Like, look what Vegas got, look what even Carolina, no, we didn't want Ehlers, but look what they did. That's big for them and for their team. And I don't see how we stack up. That being said, I do believe trades or a cut or something bigger will happen. But right now, as it stands, one of those four are our top wing. Yeah. And that's not comfortable for me.
You also one of the weirder things, this is a very weird marketplace. And I think and we've talked about, we think Fitz needs to do this with a trade. It just hasn't materialized or hasn't happened yet. We kind of going in, I don't know if you guys agree with me. It was kind of my opinion is that UFA is not the route to go. But if you look around the division, Washington hasn't done anything except lose Mangiapane.
Yep.
The Rangers, they sent Keandre Miller out and brought in Gavrikov. I don't think their D is really all that much better. They have some no-name Finn and what's his name is their third pairing D. That I don't think they've gotten any better. Carolina still has a huge hole at 2C if Kotkaniemi is still their second line center. And this guy Jay Fresh on Twitter kind of said this. You look around the league and every single one and every single kind of good contending team has some sort of issue or hole. And really only Florida is, and Florida's a gold standard right now. Really only Florida is kind of that well-built machine. But even they have some questions. Their third pair, D, is okay, I guess. Their fourth line's fine. But, they make up for that. They make up for that with the top 9 and top 4. Oh, Ace is in here? Nice.
Yeah, I forgot to put that on the screen. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's just I'm trying not to lose my fucking mind about Fitz. We're resigned with this guy, so it's I'm choosing to not be fuck this motherfucker. I want to string him up by
you can't be he's our general manager. We're fucking stuck with him.
Just don't fuck it up. And honestly, on July 1st, he didn't fuck it up. He did safe moves, but he didn't fuck it up.
Right. He didn't fuck it up. And like I said, I think that this is just step one. If we are really going into next season and in the because you're right, Bobby, Gritsuk should not be penciled into that top 6. And he said, but I'm saying that I think that that's what he's expecting, because he said he might be a guy that plays up there. To me, I took that as they're going to try and put this guy in there, and whether or not
your internet connection's a mess.
Pans out. Am I getting all wonky?
Yeah, I kind of picked up about half of what you said there.
You guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
My
Yeah, and I agree with Ace. Like, yeah,
Okay.
he didn't. He was safe, and and I was dealing with Ace about this too. It's like I'm not. My pitchfork is. I'm sharpening it, but I'm not on my way to New Jersey just yet.
But when you
Like,
were watching that press conference, though, Tim, weren't you kind of like,
he
it
inspires
sucked?
no confidence. Like
Yeah,
his
it's like,
answers
fuck,
are
man.
always the fucking worst. It's like, and he was asked twice, and or someone, Christy Flannery asked him. They were like, what now, or like, what now? And he was like, Luke is my number one priority. And she's like, well, what about a 3C? And he was like, Luke is my number one priority. And it's like, all right, man. Well, like, you gonna give us anything else? Like, so I don't know if he's just like, yeah, we're done. That's it. Like, what are you guys talking about? I'm gonna go to the cottage. Or if he's like, I'm not telling you shit. I have no idea.
If we go into the season with this, like, even with one move still, I just think we don't have, against some of these teams, man, we don't have a fucking shot. It sucks to say it. This year it was such a letdown with the injuries and the trade deadline. And we were saying like, hey, there should have been trades way before the deadline. Like we knew something was wrong, a long time ago. That was disappointing. And then I actually didn't have much hope this, during the free agent day. I was just like, hey, it ain't going to happen. Let's go.
I kind of went into expecting nothing on free agent day, to be honest. So in that regard, I'm actually happy with the pieces he pried out because we did get better using them. I can even see us going in right now with this team, putting up more points in total for the year, having like a good year, but still completely underachieving from the ultimate goal.
Yeah, and I don't want that. Like I want Stanley Cup, and Dubs just said it. Like Dubs like is exactly right. It's like we've lost this spirit of excellence that the Devils used to have. Like the Stanley Cup should be our goal. And Fitz didn't immediately say that. Which is like, what's your goal for the next season? He's like, oh well, have a good season. Oh, win the cup. Yeah, and it's just like
camera's driving me insane here.
Yeah.
Actually, I like it better this way. But that's the thing, because there are teams far worse than us and below us in their rebuilds and stuff that'll still come out and say, yeah, the ultimate goal is to win a Stanley Cup. And even they know it's not reasonable. Ours literally could be reasonable if he just grew some balls and like really made those last couple pushes. Now, as we've said on this show and a million times before already, even just to get Luke, something's going to happen. It just feels like it has to, right? To sign Luke to that long term. Somebody's going to be moved. Some salaries are going to be cut. But I look at teams like, Florida. Look, they did what they did because they just came off 2 championships. Now you got guys saying, yep, I'm going to take a little less to stay, and we're going to keep this train rolling. Teams get like that. Brodeur did it for us. Like teams do eventually get like that. Boston had always been like that. But like, then I look at teams like Vegas. They just go, man. They're just like, we're going to do this, and we're going to go. And if we pay consequences down the line, then we pay them down the line.
Yeah.
And it's just, I just want a little bit of that. See, I don't want reckless spending, so to speak, but we still need that big piece.
Yeah, it's just, it's, and another thing that pisses me off that he said, and now I'm just like, this motherfucker, like, I really wish he didn't have this little mini press conference yesterday. Just like, because then we would have been like, all right, maybe, he's got something else up his sleeve. Now he's like, oh, nothing's going to happen this weekend, and we're going to go do whatever and have some burgers, and we'll talk to Luke maybe next week. It's like, this Luke deal should have been done like a month ago. Like, I don't understand. Like, we're not privy to the conversations that he's having with like Luke's agent. Maybe Luke's agent is like, yeah, man, Luke will take a Chipotle fucking gift card and like Jack's couch, and he's fine. I have no idea. Maybe Luke lives a very simple Spartan life and doesn't give a fuck. But like at some point, like, yeah, we need that deal done to know where we stand. But he's not going to get paid enough. Like, we don't have enough money to pay him what he should be getting, right. and money's coming out, and that's why I think we're going to do it. And if it's Dougie or if it's Palat, I think it's only going to be one of them. And I think we're still going to, looking at the roster in totality, we're still going to look at it and be like, we may be a piece short. Like, I just think that's the way we're going to go into this season, and just fuck it. Fuck this guy, man. Ace got me all fired up. God damn it.
Way to go, Ace. Keeping the show listenable.
Chris must be smashing up his computer right
Yeah, and it's just like, and
My
Dubs
camera's
just brought
on.
up Mercer. Like, I don't think, the way he talked about Mercer is like he's talking about his kid. It's like, I don't think Mercer's going anywhere. This is the second summer in a row he's name dropped Mercer, get in the gym. And it's like, is that kid going to fucking listen this time? Because he didn't last year.
Yeah, so assuming Mercer
All right.
does stay, right?
That was a lot of yelling.
Where do you want to put him? If not 3C.
The third right wing. Like I honestly, he kept talking about this Juho Lamiko guy, like he's like the next coming. It's like this guy's been playing in Europe for 4 years and got burned out of the NHL. Like he didn't suddenly refigure out how to be an NHLer. Like why are we talking about this guy like he's some savior? I don't get that. Like you're dipping into like the fifth best league in the world to find a guy. Like I don't. What are you talking about?
This guy's straight out of high school, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's like like are we having like the movie with Mark Wahlberg? Like, are we having like open tryouts for like the top line wing? Like, should I bring my shit up to the Rock and drag my fat ass around and try out? Like, what's happening here?
I'll meet you there. I'd like to watch that.
That would be actually fucking hilarious. Just Dano just running people through hitting drills.
So be like the equivalent of how bad I skate compared to you. You next to the Devils.
Yeah, dude, I took a nasty hit in beer league the other night. This guy tripped me accidentally, and I went basically neck first into the board. So I had a concussion for a couple of days. And
Did everyone gather around you like a circle jerk?
I was knocked out for a couple seconds.
Wow,
yeah,
for real?
Yeah, it was kind of
Damn.
almost. It was almost like a bukkake, Tony.
So let me ask you a question. What's the level below beer league that maybe you can join? Maybe not get so hurt.
Champagne league.
It's like every time I do it, I was sitting in the locker room, like half my shit off, and I was like, I'm 47. What am I doing? Why do I do this? And then I looked at my skates and I was like, because those were $2,000. That's why I keep fucking doing it.
Well, it's supposed to be fun too.
2 years ago, and I was supposed to need to get 10 years out of these fucking skates. That's why I keep doing it.
Hey, Chris is crystal clear. Oh, he looks
seriously ready to fucking smash something.
That's what I said, didn't I? I said Chris is probably smashing up his computer right now.
a burger, a smash burger.
So fucking pissed right now. I have no idea what the hell's going on. But anyway, I'm sorry that I was gone. But
so Chris, we were talking open tryouts for top six wing. Get your shit, get your gear, go buy some skates. We're all going to meet at the Rock.
I do want to hear real quick before we play some games. You had mentioned before, Tim, about a possible robo deal. What were you talking about?
Oh yeah, so there's one of my favorite shows I listen to, the PDO cast. So there are buyout windows throughout the season. The first buyout window is right before UFA. The second buyout window, I'm not exactly sure when it is. And talking about Dallas is still in a little bit of cap trouble.
Right.
And one of the things that they want to do is probably buy out Matt Dumba. But they would still have some money left over on the books. So one of the things I was thinking is if Jason Robertson is still really an option for a trade, largely the speculation is that it would be futures based. So Casey, a first, a second, and we'll take Robo and we'll take Dumba off your hands. So then we'll buy out Dumba. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. We also picked up this kid Bordelot, who is another kind of underrated asset. I think I don't know, man. Like, just I want the season to start with like the good team with like McCann or Robo or fucking O'Reilly or someone like good players in those positions, and not having that certainty is really fucking annoying.
We make a lot of moves with San Jose. You notice that? With
San Jose is about $1 million under the cap floor right now. So and there's still a shitload to get to the cap ceiling. So like they're still an option to pick up Palat's contract.
Yeah.
But like the sneaky thing that agents can do, and it depends on if I hope Fitz had this conversation with Palat already, where it's like, buddy, see you later. But it's like agents can look around the league and be like, okay, San Jose, Anaheim, Winnipeg, all these teams have a ton of cap space. So those are the teams that are going to be on your 10-team no trade list. So not necessarily just like they can strategically make the no trade list to the teams that would need to pay that you can dump cap on. I think we're going to be a better team next year. We got rid of so much trash that was useless. I do not think this is even a team that makes it to the conference finals as baked. I think we're right back where we are, second round, 5-6 games out to Carolina.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not even thinking that far ahead. I want to see what this team looks like in October. Right now, stage one, I'm happy with the guys we brought in. Now let's do some more. Like you said, it's not a finished product. I don't hate what we started out with, what we have right now. Now just go a little further. If you keep on spouting out your shit that the aspiration is a Stanley Cup, If that's the case, then start making some moves to put us in a position to compete for one. Like the moves that they're fine, but they're not game changers. I don't know if anybody made any game-changing moves. Maybe Vegas with Marner. That's it.
I mean, Florida retaining all those guys, like they're the best moves. Marner, sure. Vegas is always churning guys in and out because Vegas is a show. It's Las Vegas. They're trying to put on a show, so like their characters are going to change a lot.
I'm trying to put on a show here too. My fucking goddamn computer keeps shitting.
Show me your
camera's driving me insane.
Show me your titties.
Right. We're gonna play a game.
Show me your titties.
We're gonna play Devil You Know first, and we're gonna end this thing with the snake draft. So, are you boys ready for this week's Devil You Know?
Yeah.
Shall we play a game?
Buckle up, boys and girls. It is time for the Devil You Know on the Unclepucker New Jersey Devil Podcast.
Funny.
Still love it.
All right, so this is the game where tonight I will be the clue giver. I will give clues to a former New Jersey Devil player, to Tony, Tim, and Bobby. They can get 3 incorrect guesses before they are eliminated. They can ask me any question they want. I can or cannot answer. It is completely up to me. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
This former New Jersey Devil was selected in the first round, 17th overall. He was born in British Columbia on February 2nd, 1995.
So he's born in 95.
First round 17th.
By the Devils, or you didn't say that?
Yeah,
he was not drafted by the Devils.
Okay.
This
17th.
former.
And what year was that, Chris?
I didn't say yet,
Okay.
but I'll tell you. It's fine. It's 17th in 2013. Tony could be cheating. We can't see him. We don't know.
Tony could already have the answer because you gave him draft order.
7 NHL teams this former Devil has played for.
Jesus.
Okay.
And when he was, he attended in 2009-2010 the Pursuit of Excellence Prep School, where he scored 57 goals and had 115 points in 51 games played.
Pursuit of Excellence.
This former New Jersey Devil captained Team British Columbia at the 2011 Canada Winter Games, where he had back-to-back hat tricks, and his performance surpassed Steven Stamkos' goal record and Sidney Crosby's point record.
Oh, God, I know this.
I know who it is.
And guess, that's the game.
It
Can't
is
get
quite
the name.
possibly the most recent former Devil. Curtis Lazar.
Curtis Lazar.
Tim got you. It was Curtis Lazar. Tim got it first.
Wow.
Nice one, Tim. Yes, Curtis Lazar was this week's Devil You Know.
What the hell happened to him?
I knew he put up.
I mean, that's a big fall.
Put up huge. He put up massive numbers.
What is up with this
He
shit?
got-
Holy shit.
Remember, he was a first round draft pick, BC guy. Yeah.
That's not who I was
Wait.
thinking of. I remember reading about somebody else who
All
was
right,
challenging.
Curtis.
Holy crap,
he
man.
played for Edmonton, Ottawa, Calgary, Vancouver, with pretty much all the Canadian teams, the Devils, Buffalo, and Boston. he started his NHL career as a 19-year-old, where the first game of his career, he was the only teenager on the Ottawa Senators opening night roster. Traded to New Jersey for a 4th-round pick on March 3rd, 2023, and he played in his career 572 games for 47 goals, 78 assists, and 125 points. In his 572 games, he scored 47 goals. When he was in his minors, he scored 57 goals in 51 games. So, yeah, Bob, what the fuck happened to this guy?
Listen, I know it doesn't always translate, laterally up, but that's
Big
a
time
huge
ball.
ball. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of thought it had to be a new. I was trying to figure out because I figured whenever someone leaves the Devils, whenever we do Devil,
We always
they
do.
always usually
Yep.
throw him in right away. So I'm trying to think when Tim's guessing, I'm like, well, who's the recent guys? Who did we just make changes for? And then
Curtis
Yeah.
Lazar.
Well, so that does beg a question: is nice face, Tim. Is who's going to
Everybody.
yeah, don't screenshot.
Hold on, let me get a picture of this.
Who's gonna bully
Dicks around.
Luke? You know what's gonna be hilarious
Oh,
if
wait.
Luke puts up like an 80-point season because Lazar is finally gone. Nope.
Gotcha.
When you guys,
I got you.
if you guys didn't get it, I had the most memorable moment in New Jersey was hosting a cornhole tournament with Amanda Stein. So that's what I have for him. So did you hear that last one, Tim?
I tried to duck out before Bob got a screenshot.
Nope. Too
I
late.
said
Got
You got it.
his most memorable moment in New Jersey was hosting a cornhole tournament with Amanda Stein. And then,
I would have recently.
all right, so
Look, that guy.
I did like the dude.
We talked about this. Like, greatest guy, man. Just some
Seems
of the
like a
shit he
super
said
nice
about
guy.
Luke and like some of those behind the scenes videos, fucking hilarious.
Great.
all right, so Bobby's got to bounce in a few minutes. So let's do
Yeah.
our snake draft.
All right.
So Tony, this was your pick, right?
yes.
All right, so tonight, if you guys don't know, the snake draft works like this. It's a 3-round snake draft. We're going to pick the order randomly. And you want to tell the category, Tone? Go ahead.
Yeah, it was best villains, but non-horror, like in action movies. Has to be a movie. Could be comedy, action,
Drama.
So best movie
Yeah,
villains
drama.
in a non-horror movie.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
horror is too, I was thinking like Freddy Krueger's like that was one of
Right.
the best fucking horror. You can't, it's just,
No, I like
so.
that you cleared that off the deck. It made
Yeah.
it a little more fun to kind of search through and think about, because I'm sitting here, I didn't want to just pick arbitrary people. I'm trying to like pick
Jason
what movies do
Voorhees
I
or-
love,
Yeah.
and then who are the best villains in it, that kind of thing. But there's of course a couple of standouts. I'll be surprised if don't come off the board within like the first 4.
I think we all know
so-
the same one.
Yeah, I would think
1
so.
through
We'll see.
20. That's the number. Tim, pick a number.
10.
Tone,
9.
Bob,
1.
I'll go 19. All right, there's our random number generator,
Always done
and
again.
Oh, I thought that was the number.
493.
because I moved it
That
instead
would
of
be
20.
Chris.
Damn you. I
Let's
was
do
like,
that
no.
again.
This
Let's
never
do
works,
that
Chris.
again. 18.
18.
That is
That would be
me.
Chris.
We all know who's going. He's tan.
All right.
Rick.
So it's wait, let me rewrite this. So it's
Rick.
me. What'd you pick, Bob? What number?
A 1.
All right, so it goes me, Tim, Tony,
Yeah.
right? And Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Bob.
All right, so I go first. I have a lot of good ones, but I love these movies. I think it's an awesome villain. I'm going to go with Voldemort for my number 1 pick.
All right.
Wow.
I'm surprised there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I got a couple
Voldemort
more,
off
and
the
I'm sure
board.
that the other one will come off the board by this round. All right, Tim, you're first.
All right. One of the greatest acting performances probably of the last 10, 15 years.
I know where you're going.
Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
It's a good one too. Yeah.
I don't know how to spell the last name, so I'm just
I got it.
okay. That's a good one. I love that movie.
Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Got to do it because it's kind of like Seinfeld, right? You're probably going to get you have to go with Darth Vader.
Yeah.
How do you not? David Prowse, the guy who played Darth Vader, was actually in Clockwork Orange, and then you had the voice of James Earl Jones. I mean, how do you
Can't
not
go
pick
wrong
Darth?
with
You
Darth
don't
Vader.
need to
Yeah.
justify it to us. He's
How
going
do you
3rd
not
overall.
do
Is
it?
kind of
He was my
Yeah.
second pick.
Yeah, I knew. I thought Chris. I thought you were going first with you. I was like, "There's no way Vader's getting past Chris."
I think I went a little more off the grid on some of mine.
Yeah, the next ones I will too. Yeah.
If nobody picks my next two, I think I have some ones that are a little off the grid. Too.
I think we should do 4 on this one.
We can go 4.
I
All
want.
right, let's get through to 3.
The vote will be 3, but we can go 4 if we have that many.
Okay.
Yeah, so Darth Vader was kind of my 1A, 1B situation here. I'm kind of glad he was off the board because the performance of this particular villain was just off the charts awesome.
I know what he's going with.
Not a huge comic book movie guy, to be honest with you, but Heath Ledger's Joker was awesome. It really was. I got to go with him.
That's a damn good one.
Good pick.
Yes.
All right, Bobby, you're on the board again.
I'm going to change the genre a little bit and bring it into the comedy world. And I mean, there's nothing freaking funnier than Dr. Evil. So I'm going to throw his ass in there.
Those are good ones. They're all on my list.
He was a 2A, 2B situation. I'm hoping my 2B stays, but we'll see.
All right, Tony.
Malcolm McDowell and Clockwork Orange.
I knew you were going to go Clockwork, dude.
I was a huge fan of that movie when I was a kid and loved Malcolm
you made me
McDowell.
watch that shit and like it scarred me for life.
I actually have on the wall over here. There's a signed picture of Malcolm McDowell at the milk bar. At the milk bar from the movie. So
crazy.
That's awesome.
Shit.
All right, Tim.
All right. I am picking my second Hans. Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber, Die
that
Hard.
one too.
Okay.
I had that one.
I didn't even have him. All right. So my next one. Oh boy. You know what? This one is very off the beaten path, but I think anybody who watched this movie when it came out, especially if they were maybe having an affair, got fucking scared straight. And that's Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction. That she played an awesome psychopath. So I'm going to go with Glenn Close on that one. And then my third round pick, I got to cut so many here.
Do you find yourself deviating from the order that you?
Oh, absolutely.
You have an order, and then the show comes, and you totally change it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and right now I'm kind of between two, but I'm going to go with Daniel Day-Lewis, Bill the Butcher, Gangs of New York.
Oh, fuck.
Didn't even think of that one. That's excellent.
That was my next pick.
You have pick next, so go.
All right. All right, I have 2 picks. Both are funny internet lore picks. The first one, Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Villain?
She is a major villain.
Well, this means
life.
Well,
She's
no.
She uses and takes advantage of Forrest when it's only to her advantage. She doesn't tell Forrest that she has a kid until it's too late, until he's rich. Then she's like, "Oh, by the way, I have AIDS, and I'm going to die."
And she probably
so
gave him AIDS too.
Yeah. Fuck
She
Jenny.
wouldn't have cared. She just wanted to get
So
hers.
are you going with
Forrest
Jenny on Forrest Gump? I like that pick.
Forrest always comes to her, and she doesn't ever come to him.
No.
And he always comes to her aid, and she's always yelling at him when he
Is
comes
she
to
a
her
villain though?
Yes,
Or is
villain.
she just a very flawed
Villain.
character?
Give it to him, Chris. That means he'll be out of the competition.
All right, I'll give it to you. You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Jenny from Forrest.
Wait till you hear my next round. We got to go 4.
Yeah, we're
We'll
going
go
4 in this one.
Tony, your third round.
Richard Dimitri, who played Roman Troy Maroney in Johnny Dangerously.
Excellent, dude.
That's a good one. You go Maroney more than Joe Piscopo?
Yeah, I do. I love that
hang
guy.
it up.
I love when he's in the courtroom and they read his letter.
You
Hello.
bargain assholes.
Like,
You bargain cart suckers.
That's a fucking trick question.
Or the fucking gun.
My
when he's at
favorite thing
party.
is, knock down this Fargan wall, knock down that Fargan wall, and knock down that Fargan wall.
That's a bargain
How to pick him, man. I mean, he's just.
That's a good one.
question.
Uh-oh.
What?
Who goes next? We'll do it while Chris is. Who's Chris next?
Chris is doing.
Chris,
the
text
robot
us your
right
your pick.
So Tony's
now.
gone.
Bobby's up.
Okay, it should be me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move
That's a
off
good one.
what was originally
All
my
right,
next
Bobby,
pick.
you're up.
Thank you. I didn't know that.
Welcome to my world, Chris. Welcome to my world.
Should I wait for him?
No.
Okay.
I'm writing them all down because I'm the one that's going to put them into the picture anyway.
So my next pick, I am going to move off of, and it's probably going to hurt me. But as I think about it now, I'm really not sure if he was the villain or just an awesome character. So if I have a chance at number 4, I'll bring him up. So for number 3, I'm going to go with a guy who changed the genre of a great set of movies as a totally different villain. And that's Mr. T as Clubber Lang in Rocky 3.
Oh, that's a good one,
Totally escapes the Apollo Creed kind of, stand-up regular guy who's out there calling on Rocky saying, "Hey, woman, come home to a real man," and just totally burst out of this scene. He was a real nasty villain compared to Creed. Creed was a badass, but Mr. T was an animal.
And I would, him and the Russian isn't really a villain. He's kind of a prop.
Exactly. That's why I didn't pick him. Yeah, he's kind of like
even though if he dies as a fucking cold line.
Yeah,
that's a great pick. I like that Mr. T line. Mr. T. Yeah. All right, round 4.
Is it my turn?
No, it's Bob's turn still.
Oh.
I snake again.
You do.
You're 4, yeah.
Oh. Well then, he's still on the board, so I'm going to take it again. He's a lovable character, but he is the villain. Bill Lumbergh from Office Space. Such an asshole. I love it. I'm gonna have to ask you to come on Saturday too.
You fucked Lumbergh?
It's fantastic.
Did you get that memo?
Chris, what are you doing? Oh, so
is it Chris's turn?
No, it's your turn, Tone.
Back up to you, Tone.
Oh, man, I'm gonna go with this Joaquin Phoenix, man, in The Gladiator was such a motherfucker that when I watched that movie, he just made you hate him the whole time.
You hate him, yeah.
Totally. And I'm gonna go with that kind of thing because there's other bad guys who I want to say Lord Humongous from Mad Max and Road Warrior, but I kind of liked him. I thought Joaquin Phoenix in that movie, he's made you want to kill him. So I think that's my 4th pick, I guess.
Right.
I thought that's good. That's annoying.
That's good.
He was such a douche, wasn't he?
Just to look at him, man. It's you just want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, he's a smarmy little fuck, and he's so entitled, and it's just all right. So, in the same vein of my internet lore has turned this person into a villain. Not only that internet lore was turned into the TV show that was a spinoff of said movie. Retroactively turn this character into the villain, and I will stand on it that Ralph Macchio in Karate Kid is the villain of Karate Kid.
We're going to get a lot of votes on that one.
Daniel LaRusso is a villain. I will not be told otherwise.
We should text Chris and find out his pick. Well, we still have 6 or 4 minutes till Bobby's got to go.
Yeah, he's still got to come on eventually and close out the show.
Might be a long night for me and Tim.
Sitting here all night.
Like a marathon. My camera's driving me insane here. Dude, I don't know what it is. This is Bobby. It's keeps on flipping on and off.
Yeah, it's weird, man. So
is Chris coming back? I don't know.
He's
going to be pissed off when he comes back.
I'll explain Johnny LaRusso a little bit more while I'm at it.
Johnny LaRusso?
Daniel LaRusso, sorry. So he shows up to this town, right? And he finds this one chick hot. Starts harassing at the beach, tries to fight the boyfriend. He's like, what the fuck? This guy's going after my girlfriend. He attacks. These guys minding their own business at a Halloween party. What does he do? He douses them in the bathroom with a shower with water for no reason. No reason.
I have Chris's pick, by the way.
Then he gets his little Asian karate master to beat up the guys because he can't do it himself because he's too much of a pussy.
Totally illegal, by the way. Can't go beating up underage kids.
And it also ends on an illegal kick to the face that didn't get overruled. Villain.
I know. Villain. I have Chris's pick, by the way.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, say it.
Jesus Christ from it's
from
Last
history?
Temptation.
From just
Joan
the world.
Joan Crawford, Mommy Dearest.
I have no idea what that even means.
Oh, really? The wire hanger.
I don't think I've ever seen Mommy Dearest.
That's about a famous actress who beat the shit out of her kid basically and was just very abusive.
Oh, well, that's nice.
You know what's cool though? We all have different picks.
For
Our
a little
picks are all
light.
over the place.
So I should put that on now for like a little light afternoon viewing.
Yes,
Yeah,
that and old Yeller afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I got an honorable mention just because I want to see if you guys seen this movie. Like I know Tony probably has. I'm just not sure if you have, Tim. But Melvin Moody, played by Matt Dillon in My Bodyguard.
Yeah,
You guys see that? He was such a little twerp of a bully, man, but he was so hateable back then in that role. So yeah, he was a good villain.
Darth
That's
Helmet
good.
didn't get picked.
Yeah,
Darth
he was on the
Helmet.
fence.
And considering current events, Biff Tannen would have been a good one.
Biff was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Buffalo
Biff every
Bill.
day.
I had Buffalo Bill on my list from Silence of the Lambs. I decided to go way off the radar with.
And that's the thing is with horror too, is like some of it kind of bleeds over a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Misery, like Kathy Bates, right? Like that's not really horror to me.
yeah.
That's more of
No.
like a
Suspense.
but it's Stephen
That's
King, so it
psychological,
branches
yeah.
off into that side, you know. So
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
What else did you guys pick?
From Dodgeball.
right,
White
so-
Goodman was
White
definitely
Goodman,
on my
yeah.
list.
So Bobby went Clubber Lang, and then
good one.
Bill Lumberg from Office Space.
That's another good one.
This is a good one. Tony went Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator.
Okay.
Very punchable.
Then I went with Daniel LaRusso.
Another bad guy.
And then he proceeded to
He
explain it
is
like the whole world
no,
had to
he's
go
the
through
right.
fucking
it.
bad guy.
If you watch Cobra Kai, they really do a good job of making
That's where I
Johnny
got
the
it.
hero.
That's where I got
yeah.
it from. And that's from an internet lore thing, like a Reddit thread of like, this is why Daniel LaRusso is a real bad guy.
you saw that, Tim, right? That what's his name? They were fighting on the set. There was something going on the
Oh, Sensei Kreese bit the woman.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw
Shit, I'm
that.
kicked out. He got kicked out of the convention last week.
Yeah.
Never trusted that guy, even with his freaking stupid arc.
And then Joan
Stop
Crawford.
letting everybody redeem themselves. You know, let's just let bad guys be bad guys sometimes. Just an idea.
Did you get my mommy dearest?
We did.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
Yes.
She scared
That-
the shit out of me when I was
Would you
younger,
have
man.
considered, in honor of Michael Madsen passing away, Mr. Pink?
I thought about that for a second, only because
Yeah,
the news. But
because
had,
that dancing scene, man, like that is some evil fucking shit.
It is.
The only one that wasn't picked that's on my list was Travis Bickle, De Niro in Taxi Driver.
That's a good one.
Is my only other one.
I said
I
Darth
also
Helmet.
Javier
I was
Bardem.
thinking about that one, Darth Helmet. And
I said
Biff.
Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men.
There you go. That's a good one. And I had Daniel Day-Lewis too from
There Will Be
what you
Blood.
call it? There Will Be Blood. But
Yeah,
I went with
that's a good
with, Gangs of New York. So all
This
right.
is a great category. I'm glad we did this one.
So this is not my computer and it's not internet. This is a StreamYard problem for me, and I don't know why. It just, for some reason, it just shits the bed when I'm on it. I don't know if it's because I'm on as like the producer, like the main one, or what. But this is ridiculous because my internet is at 100% right now. I have strong signal. I can go on any other website, do whatever else, but I can't log in here.
Even
what I don't
StreamYard
understand,
knows
Chris, is how I'm
should
having
not be
trouble.
producing.
I don't understand how the camera's doing this when
Tony's
it's built
camera
in.
in and out is a weirder issue.
I know.
Like, at least yours is like
I don't know what
freezing.
You don't know what, Tone?
I don't know if I leave and come out, but it did it last time I was on here too. So I don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh,
All
don't
right,
do
well,
it now.
this-
The show's over.
This show was an absolute shit show. So I don't even know with the way that the beginning was. I don't even know if I might have to try to cut this up so we can actually put it into podcast form. Otherwise, it's just going to be on YouTube.
7 minutes.
It's just 7 minutes of nonsense. Nobody's just going to listen to that.
Actually, no, it's legit quiet for 5 minutes because it was still rolling. when you
Yeah,
were off.
I mean, what a fucking disaster. So hopefully I
Happy
can
4th of
fix
July.
all of these troubles.
good.
And yeah, happy 4th of July, guys.
Yeah,
We're
happy
going to
4th
get
of
out
July.
of here. We're going to come back most likely after the weekend, hopefully on Monday, and maybe we'll have a little bit more to talk about.
Yeah.
And then also, Tim is going to post this up on our social media, all of our snake draft picks. So please get out there and vote. And if you're watching us, please hit the subscribe, like, alert bells, download, all the other fun stuff. I swear we're usually not this fucked up when it comes to doing a podcast. So hopefully we had a good run for a long time.
We did have a good
about
run.
This. So I don't know, man. I feel like
And we
once they-
Needs
do
to circle
sometimes
back.
talk hockey, Steven. I'm sorry.
What was
I
that?
feel like Steven Engels sent us talk hockey dickheads.
Oh, it's summertime, dude. This is this is fun for us. So go fuck
I thought we
yourself.
nailed it in the beginning. That middle 30 was pretty hot.
Yeah, I thought so. The beginning.
I
and
just
whatever
don't need
it
my
was.
blood pressure getting any higher than it already is. Talking
All
about
right.
that shit.
All right, boys. Everybody, guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so much for hanging with this shit show tonight. And for Tim, Tony, and Bob, I'm Chris. We're the Unclepuckers, and we'll see you when we see you.
Later, boys.
Peace.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!